The majority of women who are diagnosed with cancer and go through cancer treatment, they actually end up gaining weight, not losing weight. If this sounds familiar to you, well then in this video, I'm showing you exactly what to do to help you drop weight after cancer. Now, undeniably, some women lose weight during cancer treatment, but the idea that women lose 10, 20, 30 pounds during their cancer treatment, well, that's just not the majority. That's simply untrue. Many women finish treatment. They're finally able to take a breath, and then they realized they've gained 20 pounds. That is exactly what happened to me during my own treatment. After I finished cancer treatment, I was in tough shape. Before I was diagnosed with cancer, I was super active, running, lifting weights, working out most days of the week. But that all changed abruptly when I started chemo. I went from working out 4 to 6 days a week to barely being able to get off of my couch. It was like I was pulling a refrigerator behind me with every single step. I was exhausted. There was just no way I could move my body or exercise, and I definitely couldn't go to the gym. Now, obviously, when you stop moving your body as much, you start to gain weight. But during chemo and cancer, there are far more things than just this that can cause you to gain weight. I personally started diving into stress eating. I mean, after all, so many of us cancer survivors are told to just eat whatever you want. But I was going off the deep end. There were days where I didn't have much of an appetite. But then when my appetite came back, I ate whatever I wanted. Whatever was gonna help me just feel better. Big mistake. That actually made my cancer recovery even harder. But then there was also steroids. This caused my face to balloon up and just be puffy everywhere. If you've been on steroids, then you know the feeling. Plus, these drugs make you hungry. They're known to trigger your appetite, and it's really hard to control. It's just not your fault. Plus, chemotherapy itself can also put you into a perimenopausal state. This was definitely the case for me. I was struggling through perimenopause. The insult of chemo on my body and on my ovaries was pretty harsh. It was like overnight my body had changed. The change in my hormones was drastic, and the results were not what I expected. After losing my hair, gaining weight, the belly fat, the hot flashes, I just did not feel like myself anymore. It was awful. By the time I finished chemo, I had put on 20 pounds. It was really uncomfortable. I had never had a problem with my weight before. So to drop this weight, I simply tried exactly what I did before cancer. I just stopped eating dessert, moved my body around a bit more, but nothing worked. I knew that being at an unhealthy body weight would increase my risk of a cancer recurrence. So I asked my oncology team, what should I do? Their answer, just eat healthy and exercise. But I was already doing that. Since finishing chemo, I had cleaned up my diet. I was moving my body more. It wasn't working. I was doing all the healthy things and no change. I told my oncologist I needed help. I wasn't dropping the weight. And he said that there really isn't anything else you can do. This is just the cost of being cancer-free. Well, I really like my oncologist, but I was gonna prove him wrong. And that's where I dug in and I got to work. Before being diagnosed with cancer, I had already finished my doctorate in cancer care. I knew how to research scientific literature. I knew where to look. So I spent hours upon hours in the library. And now I can tell you for sure that it is possible to drop weight after cancer, even if you're on hormone suppressing medications. It's possible to lose the weight on drugs like tamoxifen, anastrozole, letrozole, or after a hysterectomy. You just need a weight loss solution that's designed for you and your body now after cancer. Now, a client that I work with came to me wanting to lose weight. She had tried everything to drop the weight after cancer. She was exercising, she was eating healthy. In her mind, she was doing all the right things, and she still was not able to drop the weight. She was so sick and tired of not feeling like herself. She desperately wanted to be in control of her body once again, but she recognized that her body was not the same as it was before cancer. So listen here to Patu share her experience of what it was like losing weight after cancer.
So once I was finished with my cancer treatment, I thought, okay, what do I do now? I guess I'll try to get back to working out, walking. I had tried to lose weight in the past, but being on letrozole, which is forced menopause, made it for me, it was impossible. I was very, very frustrated. I tried, everything pretty much. And just felt like I was just hitting my head against a wall. And I didn't know where to turn for help besides, my own self-discipline to work out and to try to eat properly. But I knew something wasn't working with my body. It was not responding as it had in the past. And, week after week after week of this just basically drained all the hope I ever had of it was not fun at all.
So where do you start? What really works to help you drop weight after cancer? To lose weight after cancer, you need to adjust the amount of food you're eating and the type of food you're eating. Most women that come to me for support in the Cancer Freedom Program are either overeating or undereating. Both of these issues will delay your weight loss. After cancer, your hormones may be intentionally or unintentionally altered. Because of this, we actually need to fuel your metabolism. If you undereat, you could actually delay your weight loss. And this is what so many women do. We're taught that if you want to lose weight, you have to eat less. Even a lot of oncologists will say that if you really want to lose weight on tamoxifen, anastrozole, letrozole, well, then you need to starve yourself. And this is so wrong. You absolutely do not need to do this, and it is not sustainable. And that's exactly what my client Kelsey learned. Check it out here.
Learning that nutrition is actually like the most important thing, and that I was severely underfeeding myself and underfueling myself.
So it's mind-blowing to think, I'm going to say, Kelsey, I want you to eat more in order to lose a lot of weight.
Yep, had no idea. Absolutely not what I thought.
Because we all try to eat less.
Yeah, we're just socialized to do that. Like, that's diet culture. That's what society says, especially for women, when like that is genuinely so far from what I've learned.
But also, many women overeat on specific foods after cancer. It's hard because you want comfort food, and comfort food is carbohydrates. Things like crackers or bread or toast. But eating too much of these foods and not enough of others will cause you to gain weight. Now, yes, the total amount of calories you eat is still very important. But what actually matters even more is the type of calories you eat. This is why the first thing that we need to do is balance your macronutrients. So what exactly is a macronutrient? So let me explain. It's not as complicated as you think, and it's a critical piece to your nutrition after cancer. Let me break this down for you. There are only 3 macronutrients: protein, carbohydrates, and fat. For women who have been diagnosed with cancer, we have pretty clear guidelines as to how much protein, carbs, and fat you should be eating every single day. These levels need to be customized to your body. These levels have to be individualized to you. Just like your cancer treatment, if you want the best results, then it needs to be specific to you. We need to make sure we're creating a plan for your body, your diagnosis, the treatment you're on, if you've had surgeries. Every single cancer survivor's body is unique. This is why we need customized macronutrient targets specific to you. Now, listen to my client Molly talk about how easy it was for her to drop weight after we had her macronutrients aligned.
I remember being frustrated in the beginning, thinking, is this going to work for me? Is this really going to happen? And then it seemed like my body just flipped a switch. It was like I was really keying in on what I needed to do and how I needed to eat and how much of my macros each time. Like, so I was really zoning in on it, and I was it's a science, man. And then I would figure it out, and I would be able to drop a pound a week.
So here is the first step in balancing your macronutrients. Almost all cancer survivors who come to me for support in the Cancer Freedom Program are not eating enough protein. This is super common. And look, it's not your fault. In North America, we eat far more carbohydrates than protein because carbohydrates are convenient and they're delicious. Now, I'm not saying that carbohydrates are bad, not at all. And I do not want you to completely avoid carbohydrates. They are not the enemy, but we're typically overeating on carbohydrates and undereating on protein. So I want you to first focus on bringing the protein up in your nutrition. I want you to aim to include protein at every single meal. Start today. And that brings me to the second thing you need to do is to eat more fiber. Fiber is key for cancer survivors for 2 reasons. The first is that it lowers your risk of a cancer recurrence, and the second is that it helps you lose weight. We know that in cultures that eat more fiber, they actually have lower risks of cancer. We definitely want that. Plus, fiber is going to help you feel fuller for longer. I want to make sure that the clients that I work with are never hungry. Ever. You do not need to be hungry in order to lose weight. Actually, you should not be hungry. This can actually set you back in terms of your weight loss. It is absolutely no fun to be hungry, and this can actually delay you in losing weight. Now, we know that some cancer treatments can last 5 years or 10 years or even indefinitely. So the approach we take to help you lose weight is something that you need to be able to do long term. Eating more fiber is going to help you with this. Foods that include more fiber are things like beans, legumes, or vegetables. This is such a simple weight loss solution, and it really works. Start this week. I want you to start including more beans and legumes into your nutrition. Now, there's really no downside to eating more beans or legumes in your diet, and that actually brings me to the third thing that you need to do to drop weight after cancer. Eat plant forward. As a cancer survivor, we know that your antioxidant levels are low. Your body has been under attack for a very long time. Cancer has invaded, you've had multiple surgeries, toxic chemo, maybe radiation. All of these things cause oxidative stress on your body. Your antioxidant levels have become depleted as your body has gone through this. Eventually, we know that your serum antioxidant levels are going to be low. It's important to correct this, and here's why. Without proper antioxidant levels, we know that you're at a higher risk of catching a common cold or flu, but it's more than that. We also know that you're at a greater risk of having a cancer recurrence. But antioxidant levels impact weight loss as well. By focusing on eating more plant forward, we know we're going to put your body in a healthier state, which means more energy, more vitality, which means you're going to invest more energy into your workouts and exercise and going to be able to drop weight. If you're continuously sick and tired, then you're going to feel sluggish and not going to be able to burn as many calories during your workouts. Even if you spend a significant amount of time working out, you might not be getting as much out of those workouts as you hope. It's through your antioxidants that we start to correct this. But dropping weight after cancer actually includes two parts. The first part is nutrition, which we've talked about here. And the second part is your movement or your exercise. We need to strategically use your exercise specifically for losing weight. That's exactly why I've linked up this next video for you here. Click the link here and I'll see you in the next video.